I refused to punish my daughter after she blew up on the class clown that she didn't want at her birthday party. So my daughter Haley just turned 13 last month and goes to this tiny private school where her entire grade is like 18 kids total. 10 boys, 8 girls. That's it. She's got other friends too from soccer and basketball, but her class is basically the same people every single day for years now. We're planning to send her to the big public high school next year so she can actually meet new people and have a normal experience. Anyway, her birthday was coming up and I asked her to make a list of who she wanted at her party. She wrote down 7 girls from school and 5 from her soccer team. 12 kids total. Pretty reasonable. I noticed one name missing though. Kelly's in her grade and I asked why she wasn't on the list. Haley just looked at me and said, "Dad, she ruins school for me literally every single day. I don't want her ruining my birthday too." I pressed her a bit and she explained that Kelly is the class clown type who constantly needs attention, interrupts everything, makes jokes during tests, throws stuff across the room, that kind of thing. Haley's more of a quiet kid who actually wants to learn and Kelly drives her insane. Fair enough. It's her party. I sent out the invites to the 12 girls she wanted. Now here's where it gets messy. My ex-wife and I are divorced, but we still do the big events together for Haley. Birthdays, holidays, school stuff. It works okay most of the time. The party was at my place and I had everything set up. Decorations, snacks, a whole setup in the backyard with games and a fire pit for later. I ordered this special glitter cake that Haley had been obsessing over for weeks. When you blow out the candles, glitter shoots out everywhere. She saw it on some video and begged me for it. An hour before the party, my ex shows up early and mentions casually that she invited Kelly. I'm like, what? Apparently Kelly's mom found out about the party somehow and called my ex asking why Kelly wasn't invited. Instead of backing up our daughter's decision, my ex felt bad and sent Kelly an invite without telling me or Haley. I was pissed, but the girl was already on her way, so what could I do? When Kelly walked in, I watched Haley's face just drop. She looked at me, then at her mom, and I could see her trying not to cry. I pulled her aside and told her to just try to enjoy her party and ignore Kelly. She nodded, but I could tell she was already tense. For the first hour or so, it was actually fine. The girls were playing games, doing karaoke, taking photos. Kelly was being kind of loud and obnoxious, but nothing too bad. Then it was time for cake. Everyone gathered around the table in the backyard, and I brought out the glitter cake with the candles already lit. Haley's face lit up. All her friends were recording on their phones because they wanted to see the glitter explosion. Right as everyone started singing happy birthday, Kelly reached over and swiped her entire hand across the top layer of the cake. Just dragged her fingers through the icing, leaving this huge, gross smear across the whole thing. She licked her fingers and laughed like it was the funniest thing ever. A couple girls laughed nervously, but most of them just stood there in shock. Haley stared at the cake. The top was completely destroyed. You could see where Kelly's fingers went through it. All that planning and excitement, ruined. And then Haley just lost it. She started screaming at Kelly. "What is wrong with you? This is exactly why I didn't want you here. You ruin everything. Every single day at school, you make everything about you, and I can't even have one day where you're not wrecking something I care about." She was crying and yelling at the same time, and then she ran inside to her room and slammed the door. Kelly started crying too. Some of the other girls tried to comfort her, but honestly, most of them looked like they agreed with Haley. Kelly's mom came rushing over asking what happened, and I explained that her daughter just destroyed the birthday cake right before we were about to do candles. She got defensive immediately, saying Kelly was just being playful and that Haley overreacted. I told her she needed to leave and take Kelly home. My ex tried to calm everyone down, but I wasn't having it. Kelly and her mom left and the party was basically over after that. A few girls went upstairs to check on Haley, and they ended up just hanging out in her room for the rest of the night eating pizza and watching movies. The cake was ruined, so I ordered donuts instead.